With your KLEK 1 to 2.5 forecast. Mostly sunny skies today, the high about 50 to 55. Northwest wind about 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear, light winds overnight, upper 20s and low 30s for the low. It'll be around 50 with sunshine Wednesday, and it'll be a little bit warmer in the low to mid 60s. Thursday, mostly sunny. Your life, your music, we're KLEK 1 to 2.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. British physicist Stephen Hawking has died at the age of 76. A deadline has passed for Russia to explain the use of a nerve agent in the UK in an attack on a former spy. Europe's top court has upheld a deportation order of 2 Afghan sisters in a landmark case. And India's central bank has taken steps to try and prevent large-scale banking frauds following a $2 billion scam at a single branch in the city of Mumbai.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
And happy Wednesday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Jones, and my very special guests today are Mrs. Lorinda Jones Lockhart and Miss Shanika Brandon. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
All right, and they are here from Fullness of Joy Ministries here in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and we're going to be talking about the Let the Pain Produce Empowering Women's Conference 2018. Before we get into that, I just want each of the ladies to please give a brief introduction of yourself and what role you play at the church.
Okay, I'm Lorinda Lockhart. I am the assistant to First Lady Elder Susan Rogers, and I have been for the last probably about 15 years now, and I serve up under her, and we're just working together to make women have an understanding of women and the problems that women deal with on a regular basis, and just trying to make a more whole woman is what we work towards.
All right. Thank you for that. Ms. Shanika?
I'm Shanika Brandon. I'm a member of Fullness of Joy, and I serve on the Empowering Women's Ministry.
Okay.
And we're here to empower the ladies.
All right.
Me and you too, but we're just focused on the ladies in this particular area.
And I do want to mention, I've seen on Facebook that it says that men are welcome as well, even though this it says women's conference. Men need some healing and deliverance and, some inspiration as well. So men, you are welcome. So do not let the women's conference name turn you away.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let's talk about first, though, the title, Let the Pain Produce. So let's get right into that.
Okay, well, the conference is this year we're focusing on going back to the original deliverance that we all need. I know we all have different things that have been, that we've dealt with in the past, and there's always been some pain in some situations that come about.
Okay.
We have pain. It could be abuse. It could be a loss of family members. It could be a number of different things that we've dealt with. And like you said, and it's not just women, it's men also. And so we're going to focus this year on trying to get the women to the healing, back to the core of where this pain started from.
Okay.
And trying to get deliverance where we can go on and be better people, be better mothers, be better wives, and be better people in the community, on our jobs and things is what we're working on.
Okay. As you were talking, I was thinking about a movie I watched over the weekend, and I made a small post on Facebook, but the movie was called Lord Put a Ring on It. And in the movie, there was a lady who was dealing with a lot of pain concerning her childhood and her stepfather, and she thought she was ready for marriage, and she had other children outside of them before she got married. And so because of her pain and issues she was dealing with, she didn't allow her husband to be the husband and to really be the father for her children, even though their father was absent. So throughout the movie, you see them as a couple struggle because of her pain.
Absolutely.
She, in her anger, pops off and says something, that you can't take back. And so then he goes and talks to the minister, deacons and things, and they give him some guidance. And I love the guidance they gave him. Is basically, don't allow yourself to be moved by what's happening. Allow God to come in and, really help you minister to the situation, to help alleviate that pain. Again, deal with the pain, and then move through it and move on.
and we've dealt with it because Elder Rogers, who's over the conference and started the conference back in 1997.
Oh wow!
But she was abused little girl, and so she's had to go through a lot of pain and getting healed through that. And at this point, she's battling a cancer right now, and we believe God, she's winning that battle right now.
She's winning, totally healed.
And so that's a different kind of pain she's having to deal with. But she's fighting through that thing, and she's got the support of her husband. Bishop Rogers has been there for us. He pushed this conference into place by pushing her. Well, you need to get your story out. You need to tell it to others, because in the community sometimes we don't talk about, it's taboo.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the sexual abuse. We don't talk about the things that happen in the house. Things that are happening in the house are kept in the house,
Yes, ma'am.
And so a lot of times we don't get a chance to be healed in a manner that we should be, because we're not getting into places where they're teaching that. We're not getting to where we need to be to say, okay, why am I crying in the middle of the night? Why am I married and my marriage is not working? Because I've not dealt with the foundational problems that I had from the beginning that's causing me to lash out, or causing me not to be a good mother, because I don't know how to be a mother because my mom wasn't a good mother, And so, I'm not saying people have bad mothers. I don't want anybody thinking, but it's just so many different issues that we've had to deal with over the years that people have kind of swept under the rug.
Pressed it down, pushed it to the side, in the back corner, dark corner.
Yes, because it's easy for me to go about and smile and grin and be happy every day, but then go home at night and cry myself to sleep,
Yes, ma'am.
And so many people do that every single day, and they don't know where to go. What is wrong with me, and a lot of times, and I'm not against, because I am a mental health caseworker, we say, well, let's feed it with medicine. Let's feed it with medicine. Well, medicine's not going to always work. We need to get down to the core of what's going on and say, okay, I need to take this to God and get the deliverance that I need, and so I can walk this thing out and be a healthy woman, be whole. We can't go into a marriage half of a woman.
That's right.
If I'm a half a woman and I got a half of a husband that has some issues that he's dealt with, then we've just
a whole mess.
Yeah, right. And so that's kind of what we're dealing with, the emotional pains, the spiritual pains. Some of us have pains that came within the church where we were hurt by something that happened in the church. But what we need to realize is that some of that pain, even in the church, that person was hurt. Because hurt people hurt people.
That's right.
It's the truth. And the thing about it is, you didn't go through the pain for naught. It's not just because something can be birthed and produced out of the pain. Like, for instance, like she said, First Lady was abused, but now she's able to help other people that have been abused. So she didn't go through it just because it was a bad situation and she has to figure out how to move on. She now has the spirit of discernment. She can notice when somebody else has gone through it and pick up on it and let them know what happened to her and how she overcame it. She can help. You're supposed to reach back and help somebody. Nothing is just, you don't go through anything just for you.
That's right.
Nothing ever happens just for you. Does that make sense?
Yes,
I'm saying?
ma'am.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give a couple Facebook shout outs right
Okay.
quick. So people won't think we're not. To Brian Carter, to Tanita Boyd Wathel, good morning. To Elder Susan Rogers.
Hey, Mother.
DeAngelis Bullard, I'm sorry. Ian Buchanan, and Ian says, Brandon says, hey, Mama. And
Hey,
to
Ian.
Bishop Adrian Rogers, y'all are doing well.
Bishop.
Thank you so much, everyone, for checking in this morning. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in our Facebook live stream, or you can give us a call at 870-277-3676. 1080. Okay, so I want to touch on the first bullet point on this discussion. Let the pain produce. Okay, I'm sorry. The pain does not respond to treatment or subside sufficiently. I'm sorry. Some of my words got cut off here. On the first topic.
Yeah. Well, what this was is just some things I was looking up, because when you're dealing with pain outside, like when you have a pain and you're going to the doctors and things, that pain that you have is there for a reason.
Okay.
You know, that's why Shanika was talking about. Pain is not just a bad thing, because a lot of times when I have pain, a physical pain inside of me, that's telling me there's something wrong with my body.
Okay.
You know, and when you're dealing with the spiritual, when there's a spiritual pain, it does the same thing. It's telling you there's something wrong. There's something off, you know, something that's not doing. And Sister Rogers made an example about an ace bandage in a message that she preached once that says, if you've got a pain in your foot and you're wrapping it with an ace bandage, you're not healing that pain. You're just wrapping that pain up for that time. But you still have to go and say you have to get that medicine or what needs to be done to take care of the pain that's going on with you. And any pain that you have for longer than 3 months becomes a chronic pain. You know, things go on and they go on and you think, okay, I'm going to be okay. This pain's going to be over. But in a lot of sense, sometimes you may get to the point where this pain is not as bad. Well, it's so bad. It's okay. I'm not going to deal with it. But after 3 months, this is a chronic pain that you have, and it'll continue to come back. And typically, it comes back at the times you least want it to come back.
Wow.
Because if you're dealing with something and you got a pain, that issue is raised more because I'm already hurting. I'm already dealing with something. Now you've put something else on top of that. So what we've done for years, we've taken these pains and we've stacked them on top of each other. We've got a foundation, and that foundation, we're just putting more cement on it. We're putting more pain on it. We're putting more situations on it. And if we never deal with that, that foundation is going to get so heavy, it gets to a point where we can't deal with it any longer. Okay.
You know, I've seen this video on Facebook, and I haven't seen the full episode, but it's been kind of the talk. Iyanla. And there was an episode, I'm sure you may have seen it, where she's trying to talk to this young girl, and this young girl is literally in her face. She doesn't put her hands on her, but she's cursing her out, basically. She doesn't want the help. And I know with most of her shows, she deals with people like that. Again, there's some pain, there's some issues. But again, like you said, if you pack so much on top of it, it eventually will explode, fall apart, to a point you have to deal with it, you know. And you can tell with that young girl, that was her situation. She's had so much that's just packed and packed and packed that, okay, here we are. You know, just spontaneous combustion. All right, so I want to touch on the next topic. It says emotional spiritual pain happens when people lose a sense of meaning or purpose in life and have unmet emotional or spiritual needs. This can include the need to address a loss of meaning or purpose in life, or loss of identity, worth, and esteem, to dealing with regrets and unresolved issues from the past. This pain is usually caused by a major event which challenges their core values and beliefs about how things are supposed to be. Those values and beliefs don't have to be religious, although they can be. So you deal with something and it shakes you to your core, and it makes you feel like, why am I here? Like,
go ahead.
I think that's the point of the conference. Like I said last year, you're not the only one that's dealing with the results of something traumatic happening, and it's not always sexual. It could be physical abuse, emotional abuse. Like I know a woman, her ex-husband, he never laid a hand on her, but he talked so bad to her that it broke her down on the inside. And here's the thing, you're not the only person. So at the conference, you'll hear testimonies of people that have overcome the same type of stuff. They know what step you're in. They remember the same feelings you had. So they are relatable. And then they give you tools like you referred to Ayanla. Ayanla gives you natural, worldly tools.
Okay.
But and I don't, no slight to her, because it works for some of the people, not all of them, but it works for some of them. But with the conference, you get the word. They show you scriptures that talk about what happens when you're anxious and when you're really nervous about something happening. There's a scripture that says you don't be anxious for nothing, but go to prayer about everything. So they teach you spiritual tools that help you, because that's where change comes from. When you get Jesus in your life, that's when things begin to change, and you apply the word and you work the word. So at the conference, we get a good preaching, but we're taught how to apply the word to our everyday lives, so that the pain that happened will now produce something else. And then we're setting up disciples. Now you go show somebody else how it worked for you. That's a part of the Christian walk. So with the conference, we learned that. Okay. It's life changing. I can't wait. Just a few more days.
Now, what about people that feel like, well, what I went through wasn't that bad? They try to minimize the effect of whatever happened to them.
The shock of it might not have been as bad. That don't mean it produced something. It didn't produce some type of negative impact on your life. You act out what you go through. Okay. When you walk around and you see people that has a predisposition to be annoyed all the time or mad all the time, that's not just because they're like that. There's a reason behind it. And it could have been that your daddy slapped you real hard one day. Y'all made up. Y'all been father-daughter. He walked you down the aisle later on. However, when that happened, it done something to you on the inside. And that could be the reason you're walking around annoyed all the time. Or pissed. I don't know if that's a good word to say. But that could be it. You know, nothing just happens. Annoyed, okay. Nothing just happens and you go on about your way. No, that's not how any of this works.
Okay.
And so you can be enlightened. That's the job of a teacher, to enlighten an ignorant person. Okay. And not saying ignorance is something bad. That just means you don't know. Mm-hmm. If you don't know this is why you acting like this, come on over to the conference. Let us work on you. Let's pray.
And some people don't even realize that there is an issue.
True.
Oh.
Because what happens is, this is just, we hear so many times, this is just how I am. Yep. There is no thing of this is just how I am. There's a reason behind why you're there. And then some of them don't know, because these are things that happen in their infancy. You know, children are affected by things that happen. When they're younger, people don't think, all kids, they're babies, they don't understand. No. They understand more than people think they understand, and they know. And if I'm taking a baby and I'm giving a baby a bottle, and I'm giving a baby a bottle every day for 4 hours a day, and I stop giving that baby that bottle, that baby's going to be like, what happened?
Okay. Yeah.
This is going to be a tragic thing for them, because now they're not getting nourished. They're not getting the food they need, and they don't understand this. Yep. And somewhere inside of them, that's affecting them emotionally. It's affecting them physically, because they're not getting fed any food. And so sometimes things are happening in the home that happened when we were younger, and we don't know it's there, but it's down in there, and it's causing our behavior to respond to that.
Okay. Yeah. And as y'all were talking, I was thinking how you said that some people don't realize, or they've learned to basically cover up and adjust and work around and incorporate that bad behavior or into the, when you talked about wrapping the foot, you've learned how to now compensate the left foot to alleviate the pain from the right foot. You've learned how to compensate in your life to either not deal with the pain, to cover it up, ignore it, it's not there, or I can deal with this. I can live with this, when in reality it's causing you more problems.
You're functioning wounded. You're still wounded. And not whole. And then what happens is, like she said, you just wrap up the cut foot or whatever, infection. That's when you see people's actions. That's when it starts to seep out, because you're infected. Now, it's not just your foot that's messed up now. It's the one up to your ankle, and it might get into your calf. You're spreading like poison
because it's going through the bloodline.
And everybody attached to you is being susceptible to whatever your venom is, because you're not whole. You're not healed.
And now
You're broken.
You're walking with a limp. You're walking with a cane. You're popping pills for pain. And
treating the symptoms instead of the root.
All right.
And so that's really what we're doing this year. We're going to the root of the issues, back to the foundational. You know, this is not a conference this year. You know, if you want to come in your jeans and your sweatpants and your tennis shoes, come just so God can just give you what you need.
Okay.
The things that you've put on the back burner, the things you may not even know that are there, the things that have caused you to be a mean person. People label you, that girl, she's mean. Really, it may not even be that she's mean. She's hurt. She's wounded. So if you want to come, just come as you are. I know the conference talks about $20 registration. If you don't have one penny, we want to see you there, because we want to see God's people be delivered.
It's requested but not required at all.
Right. And so it's not a thing of, let me put on my earrings and all my 5-piece dresses. If that's the way you want to come that is fine. You come on. But it's not required that you come dressed to the 9. Because this is a war. This is a battle we're going into.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, we're coming into this conference this year to fight. You know, put your ugly face on, your fighting face on, and say, you know what? I'm tired of all of this. I'm tired of walking around being a victim of myself.
Amen.
And it's time for me to say, okay, it's over. I got to let it go. Is it scary? Yeah. Do it afraid, though. Do it afraid and say, I've got to step up and do what needs to be done. We want to reach the people out there, the people that have, not just the ones that go to church. We want to reach the ones that are not at church, the ones that, you know, and it's open to everybody, but we want to touch hearts from all walks of life during this conference.
All right, so we're going to get ready to take a quick break. I want to give a couple more shout outs to Ian Buchanan. He said, this conference helps me and too. Trust me, I know. Shout out to Ashley Thomas, Moselle Maddox. Good morning, ladies. Carnisha Hood, she says, hey, Renee.
Hey, Hood.
Naima, sorry. Says, yes, ma'am, I'm comfortable.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Want to hit a grand slam with your kids? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. The temperature, a little warmer. The grass, a little greener. The crack of the bat is in the air. It's that time of year again, opening day of baseball. Guys, remember when you were a child and you played in your first Little League game? Now you're grown up, but just for today, you can relive your childhood dream of hitting that grand slam. And you can do it with your children. Take your kids to a game at the ballpark, eat a hot dog and peanuts together, or just play catch with them in the backyard. Remember, your family first.
For more resources on today's topic, go to markmerrill.com. The Family Minute with Mark Merrill, helping families love well.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Hello, this is Quabila from Community Conversations. We at KLEK 102.5 FM strive every day to give to you. We strive to give you music that uplifts you. We strive to give you information to keep you informed about news, candidates, and the issues. We strive to give you a place where all voices can be heard. We strive to give you stories of people making a difference for 3 years and counting. We at KLEK have strived to give you our very best. We hope and pray that somehow, in some way, KLEK has helped to enrich your life. If so, please consider giving to us so that we may continue to give to you as your community radio station. KLEK is hosting our first annual pledge drive, March 15th through the 18th, from 6 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. each day. Community leaders and regular people just like you will tell their stories on how KLEK has helped them, and you will have an opportunity to call in and make your pledge of support. If you don't want to wait until March 15th, go to our website, www.klekfm.org. Click the donate button and make your donation now. All donations are tax deductible. Please consider giving to us so that we may give back to you.
The Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated presents our Sonia D. Williams Scholarship Breakfast Saturday, April 7th, 9 a.m. at Presley's Place, 320 South Main Street in Jonesboro. The scholarship breakfast will recognize the winners of the Sonia D. Williams Scholarship, which is given each year to deserving African American high school seniors in the area. The featured speaker is Reverend Herbie Newsom. A full breakfast meal will be served. The deadline to apply for the scholarship is March 16th. Applications, tickets, and other information is available at www.jonesboroalumnidst.org or any member of the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Check out the Dorinda Clark Cole Radio Show every Sunday at 4 o'clock p.m. Listen as Dorinda plays the very best in contemporary gospel music and interviews all of your favorite gospel artists. The Dorinda Clark Cole Radio Show every Sunday at 4 p.m. on KLEK 102.5 FM. House of Details, located at 3217 Herb Street, Suite C, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle, waxing, clear coat protection, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more, with a motto of, anything mean, we can clean. Details available via Quentin Bogard at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and houseofdetailsjonesboro.com.
Hello, my name is Quabila. I am over 40 and trying to live my best life possible, but I have secondary lymphedema. It has truly altered my life. The most frustrating part of this is that it went undiagnosed and improperly treated. After enduring several surgeries, I was told in a nonchalant way that maybe losing weight will help. I urge you to listen to your body, do your research, and talk to your doctor. Don't waste time on getting the help you need now.
At 33, a wife of 17 years and 3 children, my name is Kara Maxwell. I was diagnosed with lymphedema after the treatment of breast cancer. Learning about the lymphedema diagnosis is on the rise in the medical community, although there's the least interest of research. Learning I had lymphedema inspired me to become an advocate. Be aware.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I want to give a couple of more shout outs. Time ran out on me the last time. All right, so I want to say hello to Moselle. She said, yes, it's a battle for sure. Paul Ann
Hey, Mo. Hey, Paul.
Weatherspoon says, time to stop being comfortable in an uncomfortable place. Elder Susan Rogers says, great job, ladies. Hello to Patrick Bean, Sonia Hunter.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Mother.
Christy Mathis Conway. She says, hey. And Toya Thompson Barnes. So thank you, everybody, for checking in. Please share your thoughts and comments,
hey, Bishop,
about this conference. What you maybe hope to get out of it for those that are planning on attending. Men and women alike, please share your thoughts and comments, and I promise we'll get to it as soon as we can. All right, so let's keep going and talk about the actual conference. Now, we talked about pain and, you know, what it can do to you, how it can hinder you, all that. And I'm sure the conference is going to get way deeper
Absolutely.
into this thing. So, again, like the lady said, come comfortable, jeans, sweats, T-shirts, no makeup, no jewelry, you know, whatever the case may be. So go ahead, ladies, and give. Oh, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Hi, this is Susan Rogers. Miss Corbila, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Elder. So what do you want to share with us today?
I just wanted to just invite everyone. I'm so excited about this year's conference more than I've been in a long time, because this conference is getting back to the heart of why I started it.
Okay.
I feel like in a little way I kind of lost my way. Just trying to do conferences like everybody else did. But the reason I started this is because of the things I went through as a child, the things I saw in my neighborhood, the things that I knew that women were dealing with. But when we started, we're not being addressed. Nobody was talking about abuse then. And if you tried to, they shut you down. Mm-hmm. Nobody talked about divorce and spousal abuse and all those kind of things. And so always, I just wanted people to heal and be whole and have a healthy life. I don't think we're supposed to do Christianity with sadness and depression and anger. I think we're supposed to be happy and whole if we let God address all those areas. And so I'm so excited about the conference this year because we're getting back there.
Okay.
And we want it's like when Jesus was on earth, he said, I didn't come for the whole, but for the broke, for the sick. Okay. We want those who are broken, who want to talk about it, who just want to share with somebody that gets it, who want to cry, who want to listen. Yeah. And we want everybody to come. And I'm away getting treatment. But I have a few minutes, and I just wanted to come and support the ladies and tell them they're doing a great job.
Thank you, Mother. We love you.
Invite everyone. We love you guys, too.
Thank you so very much, Elder Rod.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a great day.
You too.
All
Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye.
Don't you just love First Lady?
Yes.
And she definitely understands pain. She's gone through a few things and few things, but God has blessed her to push through that pain.
Okay.
And it is producing things, because once she gets through even this battle, there'll be more books and more things that she'll do. And so that's why she has the heart for the people. She understands, not just an understand where I empathize with you. She can sympathize with, pain of different things that's going on. Like she said, she was raised in a poor community. She was abused at an early age. But even in that, she got a college degree. She was valedictorian of her high school class. Things that people said never could be done. She pushed through that and did that, and she wants to impart that into people, into women, into men, into everyone. And that's why it's so important. We were talking about it's for women, but it's also for men, because with First Lady is Bishop Rogers. Okay. And Bishop has gone through some things also, even being a pastor's son, for all those years, and now a pastor himself. And he pushes women to be better. Yes. Pushes women to be great, and you don't find a lot of men that want a woman that can stand up for themselves and be great and things. But Bishop Rogers pushes every one of us, He loves people. Yes. And so that just helps us to want to be better.
Amazing. Hey, Aunt Nikki.
All right, so Miss Paul Ann says, Christ died for us to have access to a whole and happy life. This conference will help us get the tools to get all that past and
all that past the brokenness of our past.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Amen. I want to touch on when you talked about, and then we'll get into the details of the conference, but I want to make a point when you talked about Pastor Rogers, like her upbringing. Some people grow up in those poor communities and they go on to get degrees and be successful in life, but they haven't dealt with the pain, anxiety, the stress of, it's like they use their success as a cover-up, or they're running away from dealing with what happened instead of being delivered from some things that happened. The pain of their mother being absent because she's working 3 jobs, their dad being absent, someone maybe bullying them in school, whatever happened in that childhood, now they're an adult and they're still that broken, hurt child as an adult, and they use all these vices to cover up and suppress their emotions, and they're not Oh.
And they're not. And I understand what you're saying, because a lot of people feel like if I get fame, if I get fortune, if I get the job and make the money, then all of these things that I've dealt with, I won't have this pain. But that's not true.
No.
You can have all the money in the world. But if you're not delivered and set free, that joy is not going to be there.
Look at celebrities. They go through more husband and wives than we do vehicles in a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, and they have money, they have notoriety, they have fame, they have some form of power. But if you're broken inside, money ain't gonna fix it. You don't go to the doctor and say, I'm broken emotionally, can you fix me? No, that ain't how it works. Like she said, medicine is not always the answer. Now, if you need something, take it and do what the doctor says.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you also read your word and come on to the conference and learn how to put that word to work.
All right, so with that being said, let's get into the details of the conference.
Yay.
Who and what and when and where.
Okay, our first night is Friday night. This Friday night, meet us there. We are at 2120 Thorn Street.
Okay.
Which some of you that are from Jonesboro would say Nettleton, but it's actually the church sits on Thorn Street. We thank God for a new location this year. And we've got room for everybody, 1,000 seats. So if 1,000 comes, Pastor will find a place to put the other 1,000 that show up. Trust me.
Y'all send a choir there.
Right. But our first night speaker is Minister Ashley Johnson.
Oh man, she good.
She's from Ball Knob, Arkansas, and she has a testimony herself. That's one thing about the people that Elder Rogers has prayed and chosen. Every one of them have a story themselves. They have a testimony that they could give you of where they were at one point, and God has brought them out. But Ashley Johnson, she's a young lady, I mean powerful woman of God. Could speak life, I think, into the dry places, you know.
That's right. I met her through Moselle in the shop one day getting my hair done, and she prayed and talked with me, and it was amazing. Yeah.
And she does. She has a love for people. I mean, she's a mother of two, a single mother. Of two, and I mean, just a wonderful, comes from good stock, as the people would say. A great mother and father, and great man and woman of God. But I just believe God is going to give her a word for the people for the time that we're there. And so she'll be on Friday night. On Saturday morning, we're doing something a little different. We're going back to kind of before, and we're going to do 2 workshop sessions. And we are bringing back our bishop. He is going to come, and he is going to speak to us. And trust me, he has a word for us, you know. He always has a word in due season. And he will do a session, and then Apostle Berlinda Hams. A lot of us in Jonesboro don't know much about her. She's not been around as much. But she is a powerful woman of God. She has come in and given us words, and she's from Jacksonville, Arkansas. And she is the pastor of her church. Also a single lady. And so she is just, everybody's going to deal with the hurt and the pain, and deliverance is the base of the conference this year. Being delivered from those things. And then on Sunday at 11 a.m., we're going to have Pastor Alice Nolan. She just speaks for herself. She has been with the conference every single year that we've had the conference. She has been with us, and so she always comes in and gives a great word and helps us to get kind of catapult us to where we need to be. And so she is back yet again. I mean, I think she is just going to kind of be with us until, you know, she can't be with us anymore. And then closing out on Sunday night is our own Elder Susan Rogers. She is going to come in, and she is going to do the conclusion of it. And during the conference, we will have door prizes for those that registered.
They give good door prizes. I got a whole Coach bag one year, and I told it today.
And this year we have 2 Coach bags we're going to give out as door prizes. And
do we?
A bunch of other things from the different people in the community here in Jonesboro have made different baskets, and they've donated them. We want to give a shout out also to Starks. Dr. Starks and Starks Autoplex, and then Starks
the car dealership.
Yes. And things, because they've been a great support of this conference also.
Yeah, they're wonderful in the community.
And so
We're
they
proud
are
of them.
members there, but they have been a big support, and so many other people in the community that are coming in and supporting this conference. We want to give a shout out to them and thank them, for what they're giving. But yes, if you register, you get your door prize. You register for a door prize, you get your bags and things. But like we said, if you cannot register, we still want to see you there.
Yes, come on out and let's learn of the Lord and be empowered together. You and your sisters and brothers of Christ.
We
It'll
just
be
want
wonderful.
everybody to leave with the joy that God intended for them to have.
Right.
Alrighty. We have some more shout outs.
Okay.
Miss Christie says, all these women of God are powerhouses.
She's right.
She said, and Bishop Rogers is showing us something serious.
He's serious. He is.
Naima says, I want a shopping spree from Epiphany. Yay. And Sierra Phillips says, it's not too late to register. So let everyone know how to register.
Okay, we are going to have registration tables there every night. But if you would like to register now, you can go on Fullness of Joy's website, which is fullnessofjoyministries.org.
Right.
And if you go on, it'll say give. And you can go down and it will prompt you of where you need to go to pay. And then in the box, there'll be a box down there, and you can just put EWC.
Okay. That stands for Empowering Women's Conference. So
And then
EWC.
if you're out, there will be somebody at the office. We do have a office staff there. And even if you cannot, if you can reach me on Facebook and you need to, or me or Shanika, or one of the other ladies that goes to Fullness of Joy, just reach out to them and we'll let you know how you can register. And we thank God for those of you in the community that have already registered. We've had a lot of ladies to call in.
Okay.
Miss Chanel Scales and Miss Ruby Chandler last night called me on last night, and they are great supporters of the conference every year. And so they called to figure out how they can register. But if you can get in contact with me, I'll walk you through it if need be. But we just want this to be a great time for you and a time of deliverance to come.
What is that website again?
fullnessofjoyministries.org.
Okay, while I'm typing, y'all go ahead and give some more points of the conference and just talk about pain again in general, just some other things we might not have hit.
Well, I mean, in general, like we've been saying and things, we talk about pain and sometimes what pain costs and what it has cost us. We need to look at that because some of us, and I'm talking from experience, we've gone through some things that sometimes we may not have had to go through if we would have gotten the deliverance on years ago. I look at where I'm at now and I think about where I could have been. But fear and pain and trying to say I'm okay when I'm really not okay has caused me to be back years probably, and where I could have been. But I can't look at that now as a negative. I need to look at that and say, okay, this is what's going to...
Now I know better.
Yeah, this is what's going to take me to where I need to be,
It's FOJministries.org. Sorry about that. Just FOJ Ministries.
Okay. Thank
not
you, Miss
Fullness of Joy.
Shanika.
Thank you, Christy.
It's Christy Conway. Let us know.
Thank you, Sister
Thanks,
Christy.
Christy.
Sister Christy Conway, that's a powerful woman of God there.
She
will
is.
be there
She's
at the
something serious,
conference.
baby.
She runs the youth ministry there at Fullness of Joy, and she is trying to set the young women up.
Okay.
So that they won't be in some of the places
And
that
men.
we've been, and the young men there in the ministry, so they can get at their age what we're getting at 30 and 40 and 50, so they won't be in this place.
And I think you said that you didn't know how to get the help. Sometimes, like you said, you don't know you're hurt. You don't know that hurt me more than I thought it did, or the outcome of it is far worse sometimes than the initial action. Because it's planted a seed in you now. It's had roots and it's grown and it's blossomed, and things are just a lot different. Your vision is skewed because of abuse sometimes, and your outlook on life. You, like, some women think you can't trust any men, so they go to women, which is not of the Bible, or vice versa with the other sex. There's always a reason why a person acts the way they act. That's what I've learned in the art of communication and walking out deliverance from my own battles or my own pain. I wasn't just ignorant for just because. It's because of more than one thing happened. And sometimes it's because of something that I done. Wow. Not just something happened to me. I'm not always the victim. Sometimes I was the predator, not like abusing people, but I made terrible choices. And now, as a result of that, I have to live with some consequences. Amen. I have to work some stuff out just to be able to survive through the day because of some of the bad choices that I made myself. And I think that's what anybody, we make choices, either they have a negative impact on us or a positive. All right. Just depends.
All right. Now, I want to touch on this point. It says pain can serve as a powerful reminder of our desperate need for God's amazing grace. You feel that some people get so far gone and so far out there, they feel like they don't need anything, anybody, they're fine,
Yeah, and that's denial. A lot of times we're in denial of things that we have going on, because it's so much easier for us to just say, I'm good, everything's fine, I've been through this, I'm delivered, and I've been set free. And typically if somebody comes to you in that kind of way, there's an issue. Okay. Like, oh, everything's fine, there's nothing going on. We all have issues. We all deal with something. If it's not you've been abused. Everybody's not been abused. Everybody's not been experienced the loss of a loved one,
right?
Or something in that manner. Some people, it's something so small that they don't feel of it being of an importance. But God wants us to have a clear mindset. He wants us to know that even in the midst of all this, you still need me.
Okay. That's the truth.
You still need me. If you're having problems on your job, why am I having problems on my job?
There you go.
why am I having problems within my marriage? Why is my self-esteem on zero? Why don't I feel like I love myself? Everybody's telling you, oh, Quabila, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful. But on the inside, you're feeling like, no, I can't be.
Like, I only knew what was in my head.
Yeah, right. And so some of those things, some people have identity crisis, they don't really know who they are because they've really never gotten into the root of things, and so they're trying to be somebody that God didn't even intend them to be.
It's true. And one thing I want to challenge us as believers of Christ, and those of us who say we love the Lord and we can quote some scriptures and things, I want to challenge us to be more aware, more conscious, mindful of the people that are going through things. If we say we're walking in, God's word, God's love, but however you want to put it, we are supposed to have the spirit of discernment upon us that we can recognize when someone is in need of something. We're supposed to be able to say that person is mean because, we may not know the full root of the matter, but
know that they may be going through something at that moment.
Not take it personal when they do verbally attack you, physically, however, when they act, that we see them acting in a manner that's not normal. We need to have that spirit of discernment upon us to say, okay, let me reach out to them in a loving, let me respond to them differently than they're responding to me.
Absolutely, because we are so a person to say, she's just not going to treat me that way. I'm not going to let that happen. But you don't know what they're going through.
You don't know.
All right, so I want to give a shout out to Tara Newman Carter, Kevin Wallace. He says, can y'all talk about someone that has that's too close to you and mean, I guess, I mean the world to you. And Chris, thank you, Keisha, for checking in as well. So I'm so excited about this conference. Come out and get set free.
Yes.
And Sierra Phillips, she has helped me. All right. I'm sorry, we're going to have to take a quick break.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. A middle-income family with a baby born in 2013 will spend more than $245,000 to raise that child to age 18. Figures from the U.S. Department of Agriculture account for the cost of food, clothing, and other necessities, and this is just for one child. Even scarier, this doesn't even include college costs or projected inflation. Clearly, the impending arrival of that bundle of joy requires serious financial planning. The sooner, the better. For example, you need to make sure that your estate planning documents, including a will, are in place or up to date. Even if you have very little in the way of assets, you need a will to name a guardian for your child should anything happen to you or your spouse or partner. Additionally, you may want to set up a trust, either separately or as part of the will, to hold these assets at least until the child is of legal age. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
KLEK thanks C.J. Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
Tune in to Community Conversations every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. here on KLEK 102.5 FM. Join host Quabila Jones-Harden as she talks to people who are making a difference in the community and learn about the people and organizations that provide services to make Jonesboro a better place. Community Conversations every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Road. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
Celebrating Women's History Month on KLEK 102.5 FM. Here's your Women's History Moment with Dr. Sharice Jones-Branch.
This is Dr. Sharice Jones-Branch, and this is your Women's History Moment. Madam C.J. Walker was born Sarah Breedlove in Delta, Louisiana on December 23, 1867. Orphaned at age 7, Breedlove and her sister moved to Vicksburg, Mississippi when she was 10 years old. By the time she was 14, Breedlove was married and 3 years later had given birth to her only daughter. By 1887, she was a widow. In 1905, Breedlove moved to Denver, Colorado. While there, she founded a business to manufacture and market her own hair treatment formula, which she called Wonderful Hair Grower. Breedlove also adopted a professional name, Madam C.J. Walker, and began to offer her products for sale using door-to-door agents. Walker also set up training schools for her sales personnel and moved her operation to Indianapolis, Indiana, and opened beauty parlors throughout the United States, South America, and the Caribbean. By 1915, Madam C.J. Walker was by far the wealthiest African-American woman in the nation. She donated money to the NAACP, the National Association of Colored Women, the YMCA, and the YWCA. Madam C.J. Walker lived in a lavish country estate in Westchester County, New York, where she died in 1919.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to our last segment of Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. In this last segment, I'm going to let the ladies wrap up any information we didn't cover or just give some final thoughts on pain. But I want to give a shout out to Ms. Rachel Guerin, Angela Artist, and Dr. Sharice Jones-Branch for also checking in. And thank you to everybody that has checked in and shared your comments. Shared your comments. So go ahead, ladies, take it away.
Okay, before we finish it out, I'm gonna address Mr. Wallace, Mr. Calvin Wallace. He was talking about grief, and grief is basically an emotion. Human experience. We experience grief. We all do. It's just something that happens in the Bible. Several people, experience grief. Job, Naomi, Hannah, various people. And so when you're dealing with grief, that's something that it's going to take time, and it's going to take you seeking God to heal you during that time. It's good to be with others during that time.
Right.
It's good to, if you have to go to a support group or do some kind of counseling with your pastor or someone, that's good, because the enemy will take the grief and turn that and cause you to isolate yourself from others. And depression may come, but it's good to be around others. And I know it's hard when you've lost someone. I've just recently lost an uncle and an aunt in 1 month's time. And so the way you deal with that is keep yourself occupied with the word. Keep yourself amongst people, those that love you.
The Bible says in Psalms 147 and 3, verse 3, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. That means the hurt that you're feeling, that it seems like it doesn't go away because you think about whoever you lost all the time. He's there. The Lord is, Jesus, is there to heal you. So I would advise Calvin to read 147 and 3 out of Psalms, over and over and over until it becomes alive in him. And it's a few more scriptures. Google is your friend. Google scriptures about grief.
All right. We have a comment from Tanika Pruitt. She says, let him use you, Elder Lockhart.
Hey, now.
All right, so.
But we do want to say this again. All men are welcome at this conference. This is not just a conference just for women. Men are also welcome. We're going to open our arms and accept you in, because there's always something that's said, because when you're dealing with issues, it doesn't have a sex.
Okay.
There are some issues. Some people say, well, more women deal with this, but we can't say that men don't deal with these issues. Okay. Men may not talk about them as much. Women are going to get with each other and talk, but men are welcome, because we want all God's people to be delivered in this conference.
Come on out.
So just join us on Friday night
at 7 p.m. Saturday is at 10 a.m. It's early, but it's going to be worth it. That means you get out early, too. Hello. And at 11 on Sunday and at 7 on Sunday.
And if you can't make all of the services, come out and join us on some of the services.
Okay.
We would love to see your faces.
Gerard said, great point, baby.
And I just want to challenge everyone. Go with the spirit of expectancy.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't go closed and tight and wound and like I'm fine. I don't need this, because God is going to deal with you one way or another. He
come open, ready to receive, because when you come ready to receive, then God can give more and do more in that place. But if you come, I don't understand. But if you come afraid, we're still believe God that God is going to have something for you and meet your needs at the door when you come through.
Amen. That's true. All right, so we want to definitely thank co-pastor Susan Rogers and Bishop Rogers for having the heart, the mind, the spirit, and allowing God to use him to put on, allowing God to lead co-pastor Susan to put this conference on to help people in the community. I feel that once we can get past our brokenness or start to address it, acknowledge it, then we can move on to healing and deliverance from these issues.
Absolutely.
And we can be a better community all the way around.
Absolutely, because we can be better people for each other.
That's right.
Once we've gotten the deliverance and healing and the joy back that we need, because I can address you as a person better if I'm not dealing with all the issues I'm dealing with.
Okay.
It's true.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Have
you
a great
for
day.
listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.